Hi guys, welcome to me and Julia's review of issue 1 of the Mortal Realms. You may know that I already did an earlier preview of issue 1. This is an issue 1 that I bought for Julia because Julia is collecting Undead. I'm probably going to be collecting the Stormcast Eternals because they're cool. And if Julia wants to, we'll be doing it regularly from now on. If she doesn't, then I'll be doing it regularly from now on. But we're going to be doing some unboxings. I've been looking for an excuse to get into Age of Sigmar for a while. And playing it and building it and painting it with my daughter is pretty much all the excuse I need. So keep a lookout for that. And this is going to take off where... this is going to sort of start now, and eventually it's going to take up where my conquest is going to. My conquest reviews are going to end shortly. If you're familiar with those, if you're not familiar with my Warhammer conquest reviews, go and check them out. They'll give you a great idea of what we're going to do in this episode. My wife is making fun of my child, and my child is swearing at my wife. I have a mature family.
Extremely. I can be mature with you as well.
Do you want to do the honours, Julie? Let's take the plastic first. They built it too well.
Pretty sure it's just... Oh, they came out of the bottom.
Yeah, it's...
Nothing else did.
Nope, things come out of bottoms all the time. Right, I'm just going to open up the little plastic box. It says includes 13 miniatures, 6 dice and 1 ruler. The ruler's actually in with the thing. You can see here's the most important bit, the bases. These are the basic plastic bases that are going to go with the chain rasps. And whilst Julia's mostly actually collecting Death Eater Corpse,
I think so, yeah.
They all come out the same book, so she's going to be getting some extra models to back them up. In the form of these guys and the other undead models that come with it. Obviously these come from the Night Gauntlet section, which are more about ghosts, and the Death Eater Courts are more about ghouls, but Julia's gonna, you know, get them cheaper so we can afford to do it. On the other hand, we're going to be taking these. The Stormcast Eternals, at least for these ones, their bases come with the models. They're nice and gold and shiny, so I don't really have to paint them. Julia's ones are nice and blue. So that's all cool. What do you think, Julia?
I like the blue.
You like the blue?
Yes, I like the blue.
What do you think about the models?
I think I'm probably going to scream if I drop them on the floor.
Yeah, it is worth noting that obviously they've picked one of the more delicate armies to build. But as long as you're not transporting it too far, that's not really a problem. If you are, I can't recommend a custom case enough. It's really cool. It also comes with sticky. Be aware it's got that kind of sticky snot stuff that keeps sticking, so wherever you put it. We've got 6 dice, white dice and leadership. Do you want to give them a roll, see how they roll? I'm just going to bring it down here so you can see what she rolls. So we can see that's actually fairly good. She's rolled 1, 2, 3, 4 5s, a 6 and a 3. So I may not be playing my daughter. I'm just going to put this back down. I may not be playing my daughter because apparently she's a dice fiend. But certainly I'm going to be helping her build it. The dice. That's our fault. The map. Sorry guys, this is a bit of a fun one. The big cardboard backing slipped under it. The dice quality is quite good. It's standard GW dice quality. They're a little light, but sorry, if you go all the way back to the initial Warhammer Conquest, which I'm going to sort of do some comparisons because Warhammer Conquest came up first. These dice may well be supposed to be the same, but they feel heavier and they feel less plasticky and more dicey. I know dice is still just plastic, Okay, those are not bad dice. Again, I just dropped them. I've got 4, 5 and 6. Admittedly, I've got 2 2s and a 1, but that's still a solid average. For any of you guys who are new and have tuned in just for the Warhammer Age of Sigmar, I've got Tourette's. That's what the twitching's about. I'm not on drugs. Well, I am on drugs, but not for that. Not that kind of drugs. And again, be aware it's got that kind of re-stickable stuff, so don't put the magazine back. Ooh, see, look, the base is stuck to it. Don't put the magazine back down on this, all the plastic bits, as you'll likely rip the magazine. Before I open up the magazine, I'm just going to go through this bit. You can see it covers, it tells you exactly what you're going to get, what's in the magazine. It covers what the issues are likely to be. It advises you to try and, obviously it tries you to try and buy it. It also lets us know that issue 2 is going to be $5.99. This issue was $2.99. It's fairly solid. You've got a good amount of models in it. Again, if you want to check the prices, go back to the original review because all the prices are on that review. But it also, it advises you, collect, build, paint and play. And the war-torn, venture into the war-torn realms. For those of you who are not familiar, the Warhammer world used to be a world, an actual just world floating somewhere in space. At one point it was linked to the 40k universe and then it wasn't, but it's always been a kind of standard fantasy world. GW ran a thing called End Times, which smashed it into loads of pieces. If you've ever watched the cheesy Flash Gordon from the 80s, where it's got realms, just kind of bits and pieces floating in space, it's very much like that. You've got bits of planet here and bits of planet there, and they're all kind of floating in warp space because chaos overwhelmed them, and they've been connected by a bunch of realm gates, which allow people to move from one realm to the other, and people are just sort of fighting to survive and fighting over the realms. It also goes through what we expect in issues 2 to 4. Undead again next week. Then you've got some more Stormcast Eternals. And then these guys who I will forever refer to as the Death of Rats because they have rat heads and look like the Death of Rats from Terry Pratchett. Basically you've got Banshees, and then you've got Castigators, and then you've got Glaive Rates for the first 4 issues. Issue 1, each of those issues is going to be good value for money. It's made up by the fact that you get a paint each of the first four issues and a paintbrush with the second issue. So that by itself, you're going to make up your money on the $7.99 issues, and more so on the $5.99 issue. Okay, you looking forward to that? Do you want this? You open it, you describe what you find in there, babe. Again, the sticky plastic stuff. It's like, it's kind of like snot. I really don't like it.
It's like
I understand why they use it, it's easy to get off, but
what have you got? Solid version of slime. It's the ruler bit supposedly was in the other box, but it didn't fit.
Yep, so we've got a 12-inch ruler there that's clear plastic. They give these away a lot for free. It's worth noting the reason they're going for clear plastic is so that when you put it over models, you can see through them. It actually gives them a lot of advantages over tape measures, but the disadvantage is they're only 12 inches long, whereas the average tape measure is obviously much longer. Don't do that to tape measures, it's bad, that's how they break. What else you got in there, babe? Give me yours.
I don't know what stuff is because I'm not finished.
Well, that looks like it's a playmat. So we've got a basic playmat the same size as the magazine, which is approximately A4. got a lot of detail on that. Of course, it's not as big as some of the playmats you get. Oh, careful, they fall apart, baby. It's not as big as some of the other playmats you get, but that's the hex one. Ah, okay. Oh, I'll tell you what that is. So the obvious reason the playmats are smaller is because hand-to-hand is much more combat, and is much more of the combat you'll already see in the fantasy world. Whereas where you've got other playmats from Conquest, they've been big because you shoot more. We've got two things here, so that appears to be the main issue of the magazine. So, what's in there? Oh, as you always expect, from anything that's a business, buy things, buy things, buy things! Take out a premium for a £2 extra, receive 4 premium sets exploring other forces. That's not bad. If you get like the premium thing, you get Flesh Eater Courts, Sylvaneth, Orc Warclans, and the Blades of Khorne, which are nifty. I would be vaguely interested, but the only one that we're actually going to collect is the Flesh Eater Courts, because that's what Julia primarily does. Okay, do you want to have a look at what's in there?
Lots of stuff.
Lots of stuff. Well, let's have a look.
Lots and lots of stuff.
Okay. The most important thing about the whole issue, as far as I'm concerned, is that it's signed by Ian, our spiritual liege. That's a joke from 3K, but Ian's the guy that's been organising the previous one. So it's actually quite reassuring because it means that this is going to be of similar quality, probably, to the Conquest one. And the Conquest one, again, has been of good quality so far. I think I'll take over here and go through these bits because Julia's buying this to learn about it, so she's not going to be able to tell you much about it before she's read it. It gives you a basic description of the Age of Sigmar, who Sigmar is, what he does and what his storm hosts are. There's a nice little blurb there and a blurb there telling you what they are. It gives you a description of the Stormcast Eternals, which are a new faction exclusive to the Age of Sigmar. A lot of other independent games out there have Undead and have Elves and Orcs and Dwarves. GW are really developing their own thing, and the most unique faction they've got at the moment is the Stormcast Eternals. It goes on to describe them and what they are. It goes on to describe the Secretories, which are these guys here. It tells you what they do. So they're stern warriors schooled in the magical arts. Guys! My dogs are playing. So it covers what they are. They're basically battle-hardened wizards that wear massive amounts of armour. That's actually a change from old school Warhammer where wizards couldn't wear armour because it prevented them casting magic. These guys can, but they channel the power. Sorry, I'm saying, enough! Roxy, bed, now. That's because you're biting me and my fingernails hurt. So they're much more like sorry about that, dog's fighting in the background. So the Secretaries are much more like, to use a D&D term, they're much more like clerics. So the camera's tilted forward, I'm just going to bring it up. Yeah, they're much more like clerics in that they derive their power from kind of holy magic. It also tells you the war gear they get, and whether it's from the plume or crests to the enchanted robes to the spirit flask. The consecrated pendant and the storm smite great mace, which is the big hammer weapon. You can see them moving there. Next, it goes on to the Nighthorns, which are a faction of the Undead that Julia is going to be collecting. Raised from the dead by Nagash's magical experiments, the Nighthorns have burst forth from grave and barrow. Nighthorns are really sort of classical skeletons and ghosts. If you like your classic necromancy, it's them and the Flesh Eater Courts, who are the Ghouls, are really the ones you want to look into. So they're really cool. It has a picture of a guy on a winged nightmare. Ice cold fear heralds their arrival. And only ruined corpses mark their passing. As with most undead, they tend to operate on the kind of the plague basis, in that they go somewhere, they kill people, and then because those dead people can then be brought to join their ranks, they get stronger. So every time they hit a village, they infect more, they get more dead people on their side, and pretty soon a ragtag band of dead people can turn into a massive army. So it goes on about that. Then following the same pattern, it goes from the general army to specifics, these where it tells you about the chain rasps and what they are. Here it goes. I was a fool to delve into the catacombs. I had not accounted for the dangers within. Little bit of story text there to give you a feel for them. And it tells you about how chain rasps are the most numerous spirits that make up the Night Hall procession. These bitter geists are created from the souls of the most vicious prisoners to have ever lived in the mortal realm. In death, they wear chains. They wear the chains that bound them in life. So they're the tortured souls of murderers coming to murder you, basically. So that's pretty cool. What do you think about that?
Yeah, pretty interesting.
She'll have more opinions later, trust me.
Yeah, I don't know stuff, so opinions matter. And dying voice.
Yeah, I think there's a cult going around. But it goes to describe the different chain rasps and what they do, and give more detail. And it starts off on how to build. The models are actually fairly easy to put together, but it can be worth reading the how to build beforehand just to see how it works. Clipper safety, that's of paramount importance. If you don't adhere to clipper safety, you could lose an entire arm or a leg. Cut your own head off by accident. Vitally important that. Jokes aside, get yourself a good solid pair of clippers. GW do them, Army Painter do them. A lot of companies do really solid clippers, and they'll save you a lot of hassle in the long run. We then move on. Yeah, as you can see, where are we? On the page here. Nope, that's the page. It moves on to a detailed step-by-step description of them, then a detailed step-by-step description of the chain rasps. Good clippers are more important with the chain rasps than the other because of the delicate nature of the models. As you can see, they're quite delicate. I mean, they're amazingly detailed. They're really good models, but because of the delicate nature, good clippers and a sharp knife are your friends. They'll let you get them out of there without breaking them. It then goes on with basics of how to paint miniatures. It doesn't give you any specifics yet because they haven't given you a brush or paints yet. I'm sure those will come within the next episodes. The eve of battle. It gives you a nice basic description of what the actual game is, what they do, and it even gives you a quick battle to be had. It gives you the stats and the stats of the models, and it advises you how to attack, how to pile in, what weapons you can use. It gives you the stats for the sectors there, the stats for the chain rasps there. Oh no, sorry, it's telling you the order of the moves and that there, and how to roll dice, and how many dice to roll. And it gives you all those bits and pieces. Just basically walks you through that first battle. Where are the stats of the chain rasps and that? Can't find the stats. They are certainly in here. I'm just going to back up and make sure the stats are in here. Maybe you're wanting them on a one-to-one model. Oh, no, it's where it's running you through all the details, is telling you what you need to hit, what you need to roll and to wound, and how it works there. So It's not giving you the stats, but it is telling you what the stats are as it runs you through the basic demo of the game. We've got a second book. We've got a second thing, which is Battle in the Mortal Realms and a War in the Underworld. Got a nice cool picture there, which is probably going to go up in Julia's room somewhere if she wants it. And a description of both Sigmar which is the good guy, and Shaish and Nagash, who are the dead guys. Unlike 40k, if you're familiar with that, 40k has no real good guys. Everyone's basically fighting their own corner. Although there are a few definitely bad guys. In AOS, a lot of guys are fighting their own corner, but a significant amount of guys can be considered good guys, and a significant amount of guys can be considered bad guys. This is a poster. Do you want to unfold that, maybe? And you can be careful. And again, you can have this up in your room if you want it.
I don't think I have any wall space.
Just tape over your sister's face.
That's not how this stuff works. You're going to cover in glitter.
We've got descriptions of the Mortal Realms, how to build. Basically, the back of that seems to match up with the back of this, only it gives you more details like the paint you get. It's showing you both the armies and all the scenery you're going to get as well. And then do you want to show me the other side? It then advertises. Oh, let's spin that over. Yeah, so it tells you what's available in the premium subscription, and it gives you a nice blurb of welcome to the Mortal Realms. We are not going to be getting the premium subscription, we're going to be buying it weekly because we like to support local. Do you want to have a look and see what the picture's like? Do you want to have a look at the picture, baby?
No,
Let me hold it. I'll hold it.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's very frameable.
Yes, but a wall space I do not have.
We'll find some space. So, what do you think? Do you like the picture?
What's it? I'll put it in the box there and put it on when I pick it up upstairs.
No.
Not so much.
You want a poster of dead guys, do you?
Flesh eaters?
Yeah, there's a ton of courts, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, the cover of the flesh eater box
Baby.
that we looked at was quite nice.
In the middle of recording. That's my wife. If you tune into this, you'll notice my family regularly interrupt. That's why the channel's called Wargamer Dad. That's what happens. So you've got an impressive poster and a load of cool stuff there. So that's the contents as reviewed by mostly me and partially my daughter. Oh, it's even got a thing there to advise you to go to your newsagents. It's worth noting, whilst I didn't see Conquest in the local co-op, I have seen a couple of issues of Mortal Realms in the local co-op, so if you've got a co-op local to you, it might be worth seeing whether they're stocking it. I'm going to be collecting it from my local newsagents down the road. If you're local to Portsmouth, check out Fist for the Dice. They're my favourite gaming shop in Portsmouth because I used to be one of the owners. And go and buy their stuff. I hope that was good for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want even more information, go and check the original review. It's a bit more in depth, which is why I didn't cover so much in depth this time. And my children are beating each other. I'll see you guys with the next issue. I don't know exactly when that is because it doesn't say. It could be next week, although initially there was a month gap and there was some month gaps or some 2 week gaps between the initial issues of Warhammer Conquest, and again I am going to be comparing this a reasonable amount to Warhammer Conquest because it's the only real part buy we've done with GW, so it's the only thing we have to compare to. I'll see you guys next issue. You want to say goodbye?
Bye.
Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure why, but I am. So if you like it, see me there, and please tell your friends. Thanks very much. Bye.